You can find and go home and you're not paying attention to the guy finding you because you're on your phone.
That's what I do.
This must be a treat this week. Let's see, primetime game for a lot at stake against a great team.
Yeah, this is what you play in the NFL for. This is why people watch the games. It'll be a great game, a great matchup. It'll be a physical game, NFC West battle, and we're looking forward to it. I know they are too. Going on the road is never easy. We're going to have great communication and everybody be engaged and capitalize when we need to.
Russell, how do you work on your escapability? I'm sure the guys aren't allowed to touch you at practice. But do you still work on that in practice, or is that just sort of instinct from years of playing?
Yeah, I think my quarterback coach, Coach Carl Smith, and we work on the escapability stuff and just try to play the game, But at the same time, it's just kind of instincts and just trusting your guys, and you get some reps of it, but we don't necessarily focus on that, the whole practice or anything like that. And I think it's also just playing a lot of games. I started in 50-plus games in college, and then I think it's like 50-plus games now in the National Football League. So you can play a lot of games, and you kind of understand and you trust the guys that you have around you.
How long does it take the receivers to get on the same page with you, or is that even possible?
I think they do a tremendous job because sometimes I go all different directions and they never really know where I'm going. I don't either. So, but they do a great job, a phenomenal job of getting open for me and working to get open. And it's tough on the defense, because having a play that can go longer than 4 or 5 seconds, sometimes it tires those guys out and kind of breaks their rules a little bit. But that's not anything we rely on. I think that's something that we do really well and we can always improve on. But it is a huge part of our game for sure.
In the first game against Arizona, you completed 17 of 22, but only 6 went to the receivers. And obviously, you've had more time since that time to work with this group. What do you see improving against Arizona and throwing the ball to the wide out?
Well, I think just how they played the game against us last time. We were able to get the ball to different guys, and we want to be able to share the ball around. It's equal opportunity, And so, I think for us, I'm always looking for the open guy and just trying to facilitate the ball to the right guy at the right time, like I always say. And our receivers have done a great job, as of late, and they continue to just show up for me. The tight ends are doing a great job in being physical and making big-time catches, and obviously the running backs too as well.
You're big on the mental side of the game and thinking through what could happen. When you've got injuries across the offensive line, like you do this week, do the scenarios that you think about change going into the game?
No, in terms of offensive line and what we have going on, first of all, I think that the guys are going to be ready to go, hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for. But if not, we've played a lot of football games with a lot of different guys, and that's the great part about it. I kind of talked about this several weeks ago. We were going through those injury battles, and the next guy has to step up. And the great thing is, you have Lim, who's a great center, who's played a lot of football. You have Patrick Lewis too, who's a great center, and played against them last time, ironically, and did a phenomenal job. And so we have guys that can step up and play at a high level. And that's a tribute to John Schneider and Coach Carroll and how they get them prepared and just bringing the right guys in. And so I'm looking forward to it. Whatever 11 guys step in the huddle, 10 other guys, I should say, I'm looking forward to being out there on the field with them.
The team was in Arizona. I remember a lot of 12s that were there, especially after the game. How much of an impact did they make on the road?
Well, hopefully, we'll have a whole bunch of, Seattle Seahawks fans and 12s there at the game. I remember last time we had tons of them. And this is a huge game, and we know that the crowd will be electric, and we know that it'll be a lot of fun. And the field's 100 yards. It's 53 in the third, like I always say. And so when you get out there, you just try to play the game. You try to play the game with poise and a calmness to you, but also have an attack mode mentality.
Well, they thanked you 7 times in the game up here and really were blitzing quite a lot. I mean, what do you do to counteract that? That's probably going to be their strategy again, I guess.
Well, I think a lot of it's protecting the football, not making any bad decisions when they bring their pressure. Just be smart, understand what they're trying to do. But at the same time, when I like it when teams bring pressure because there's a lot of green grass, in the flats and over top of the defenders and in front of the guys, and so you can make a lot of plays. And if we make that catch and that throw, it's going to come down to one-on-one matchups, and if we can do that, I think some guys can have some big-time game.
You've studied the Cardinals several times now in your career, and it seems like they always have a good defense regardless of who's playing.
Yeah.
What would you say their identity is on defense especially?
Well, I think their identity is that they're going to play a very, 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 very physical game. They're going to fly around to the football, and they're going to bring a lot of pressure, and you expect that. They're going to have a lot of one-on-one matchups, like I said, and so we just have to make the plays, and we look forward to that. That's what championship football is about, and stepping up in those moments.
Did you meet Lindley at all? You guys were in the same draft class.
Yeah, I've met Ryan Lindley. We're actually decent friends. I've gotten to know him over the past few years, and combine and training and getting ready, and then we had some events together and everything, and then I think we went to PAO together too as well, and we're able to get to know each other really well then. And so he's a good football player, and I got a lot of respect for him, and he'll be excited. I'm excited for him to be out there, and I'm sure he'll do a great job. Hopefully not too good.
Pete talked about you guys kind of focusing on going back to the Philly game, some of the quicker passes, just quicker you can throw it. Do you feel like that's an area you're improving in, and then how important is that, especially against pass rush?
Well, that's one of my biggest focuses right now for me personally, is just continue to grow as a quarterback, continue to develop and work on that, work on my craft, before practice and after practice, and when I'm watching film and understanding what I can do better, and always getting the ball out, on time and in rhythm. And it makes it tough for a defense when you get the ball out of your hands, but then also you have this escapability factor, and those guys kind of wear down and get tired, and hopefully, I'm able to get the ball out, get some completions, and stay on the field and capitalize in the red zone.
Also, we know you haven't missed a pro game due to injury. Did you miss any in high school or college?
I didn't miss any in high school. I don't think I missed any in college. I missed maybe one game in college at NC State. I actually got knocked out my first college game ever, and that was a good experience. We were playing South Carolina. I think we could have won that game if that wasn't the case, but I got knocked out, and the next week I was cleared to play. I played a couple snaps, and then I didn't play the rest. I think we were playing William and Mary, and I didn't play the game, but anyways, yeah, I haven't missed too many games. I've been fortunate enough. I try to get down and I try to play smart. Like I always say, I'm kind of short and stocky for a reason, so I can take a couple hits every once in a while.
How did the collision happen, and what did you learn from it?
I just got a knee to the head. It's just kind of one of those freak accidents. Nothing I could have really done.
What do you notice the continuity does for you week to week, season to season, in terms of building and improving incrementally each week?
Well, in terms of the continuity of being out in the field, I think that's a major part of it. One of my goals is to never miss a practice in my career. That's just one of my things that I really want to do. So Hopefully that's the case, but you just take one day at a time, and you keep progressing, and you keep trying to learn. You keep taking notes. I always say KTN, keep taking notes, and just keep studying, as much as I can learn, and I try to take care of my body. I learned a lot from some veterans when I first got here, and asking questions. And I remember Leon Washington, who was on our team at the time, and then also Michael Robinson. I used to ask them questions about what they ate. How do they rehab? Is there a certain schedule that they do? Anytime I meet a Hall of Fame quarterback or player, just in general, I always ask him, what was the difference for you? What made you come from good to great and great to Hall of Famer? And all those type of questions I always ask. And a lot of it's just consistency. Can you be out in the field? Can you take care of your body? Can you be disciplined enough to do the things that it takes to be out in the field? And that's one of the things I really pride myself on. I try to get here early in the morning, do my routine. I stay consistent to my routine, and that's one of the things I always try to say too. Is don't get bored with consistency, and just try to continue to be out there and continue to do the right things as much as you can.
What's the biggest diet change you made that maybe you don't eat anymore and do now?
The biggest diet change, I try to stay away from a whole bunch of sugar. That helps me. My dad died of diabetes, so I try to be really particular about that. That's really like the main thing that I probably struggle with, or struggled with. I do have to eat certain things to keep, carbs and stuff like that to keep my body going during the season. But yeah, that's kind of most of the main things I try to watch.
Going back to the question about kind of the quick passing game, stuff like that, how much has your rapport with Paul Richardson improved? There are a couple of passes I know in the last game, the 3rd and 10, the touchdown. Yeah. How much has that improved?
Well, he's done a phenomenal job, but you got to give credit to him, for what he's been able to do and the constant progression that Paul Richardson's on, and the rest of the guys too as well. But Paul, being a rookie, he's continuing to develop. He's got phenomenal hands. He's got great speed. He's got great quickness. He reaches for the football extremely well. He understands the concept, so he does a great job. And he's continuing to work against some of the best corners in the league every day. And I think that's a great experience for him, and it gives him a great opportunity to be successful.
Also, you probably heard the news that KJ signed a 4-year contract extension. What does that mean to you to see the team reward a guy that's been a big core part of your teams that you're doing?
Well, to have a guy like KJ Wright on our football team for a long time, that's a great thing. He's one of the best in the National Football League, and he's a long-armed, fast, physical defensive player, and he's got great smarts. Going against him in practice is never easy, and to have him on my team, I'm definitely excited about that. He's a phenomenal football player.
Honestly, it seems the last couple of weeks, kind of the structured passing worked a little better, some of the out-of-the-pocket stuff. Is there anything that you can kind of point to as to why you've had a little bit more success in those areas the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think the game dictates itself. I just try to play the game the way it comes to me. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, and sometimes you got to move around. Sometimes you just sit there and hit it, and it's always good to just be able to sit there and make the throw. But sometimes, defenses do make a play, or they got great players too. And so sometimes you have to improvise a little bit. But I do try to pride myself, and I'm continuing to try to learn as much as I can about what can I eliminate, as quick as possible, and how can I get the ball out. The quicker, the better.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you guys. Go Hawks.